Imagine if somebody gave you a recipe for the most delicious chocolate chip cookies you had ever eaten. And all you had to do was follow this recipe. And out on the other end would be the most delicious batch of chocolate chip cookies you had ever eaten. But when it came time to follow the recipe, for whatever reason, you only followed partial recipe. You only followed some of the recipe. Maybe you didn't have all the ingredients, and maybe you were too lazy to go to the store to supplement the ingredients you had at your house. Maybe when it came time to mix the ingredients, you didn't really feel like mixing all of them together. Maybe when it came time to set the temperature on your stove, you didn't really feel like setting it to the right temperature. You just cranked the heat nozzle until it came out to whatever random setting you felt like setting it to. And maybe when it came time to cook the cookies in the oven, you didn't really measure the time like you were supposed to. You just threw them in there and came back a random time later and pulled them out. And then you came to the conclusion that this chocolate chip cookie recipe doesn't work. This is unfortunately how many people live their lives. Many people would very much love to get an outcome in the world. And so they study a little bit about how to get this outcome. But then they apply a little bit of what they learned and they don't get the outcome. So they conclude that the strategy they learned doesn't work. Now, I know that you're not like this. I know that because you are watching this video, you have a ton of experience in your brain of going out into the world and trying things again and again and again until you get the right result or until you get a better and better result. Because the truth is that the world does follow a certain set of rules. You know this. Humans follow certain instincts. We have certain instincts inside of our mind-body systems programmed in by evolution that we don't have much of a choice but to respond in congruence with. And when you understand human nature, when you understand the makeup of our human instincts, you can communicate with people in a way that will get the same results every time, as repeatedly as getting the same chocolate chip cookie result every single time. And somebody like you is smart enough to know, somebody like you has enough experience to know that this generally takes trial and error. Now, something as simple as a chocolate chip cookie recipe, most people, if they follow the recipe, can get a decent result the very first time. But the more complex a cooking recipe is, the more times you'll need to practice. And the more you practice, the better the results you get. Life is no different. You know this. People, rare people like you know this, that every time you interact with the world, every time you interact with other people and you get a certain result, this feeds back into your mind-body system of understanding how the world works. And the more you interact in the world, the more you talk to other people, even if you don't have a specific outcome, you get more feedback built into your system of understanding human nature. Now, this is how most people go through life. Most people like you that are forward thinking, that realize that trial and feedback is the only way to consistently get better. The only way to consistently improve yourself. The only way to consistently get into the world and continuously get better and better social rewards, social results, financial rewards, financial results. Now, there's some people, and unfortunately this group of people is growing, that they believe that they should just go into the world and try whatever random thing pops in their head, and if they don't get the results they want, then poof, it doesn't work. The strategies don't work. The world is broken. The world is broken. What do I do? These people, unfortunately, will be stuck on the sidelines their entire lives. And they don't operate on the world the way the world is. They operate on the world the way they think the world should be. This is another fatal flaw in success that unfortunately a lot of people are suffering from today. They have this idea of what they think should happen. They get into the world, they try something half-heartedly, and what they think should happen doesn't happen, and they get angry at the world. How can I succeed? It's broken. The world's broken. But somebody like you know the world is not like that. Somebody like you know the world does follow a certain set of rules. The world does follow a certain set of guidelines. And the more you understand these guidelines, the more you see the world as something that you can continuously learn about, not impose your own ideas of should onto the world, but that the world teach you how it operates. The more you can get into the world, the more you can accept whatever feedback you get from the world, the more you accept and appreciate the world the way it is, the more you can learn in the world, the more fun you can have socially, the more you can operate socially with an outcome-independent mindset and say things and talk to people just to see what will happen. But luckily for you, because you already know this, because you already have experience understanding this, because the way you see the world is far different than everybody else, you understand that underneath all of the operational experimentation you can apply in the world, there is a certain set of human nature constants that you can rely on. For example, everybody in the world has an unlimited amount of desires in their head. Everybody in the world is not very articulate at expressing their desires. Everybody in the world looks inside their own desire map and judges their own desires as being the most important part of the world. Everybody has this instinct programmed into them that says you need to express yourself to the world in a way that will get massive reward and respect from the world. Everybody has this deep instinct, and because you understand these deep instincts that exist in everybody in the world, you can operate in the world. You can talk to people in the world. You can elicit their desire maps. You can elicit their ego maps. You can elicit their agency maps and give them the feeling of satisfaction that they can't get anywhere else. And the more you experiment with this model, the more you experiment with this conversational model, the more you experiment with this persuasion model, the more spectacular results you will get from the world, because the world really is out there just waiting for somebody like you to get in there and have some fun and experiment with how you talk to people and experiment with how good you can make people feel because of your conversational skills. And the more you do this, the more life will reward you.